It was finally the turn of the managers of the national power distributor Umeme to face the Select Parliamentary Committee investigating NSSF. The questions focused on how workers' savings was used to bail out Umeme, a private company, from its debts.
Don't belong to Umeme.
The MPs heard that the concession agreement the government signed with Umeme in 2004 had provisions committing workers' savings to buy Umeme shares when they are floated.
That GOU hereby approves sales by the company and the initial shareholders of ordinary share capital to the National Social Security Fund.
Umeme officials told a committee that the agreement that the then Finance Minister Gerald Ssendaula signed on the 17th May 2004 was negotiated by the then head of privatization unit, Michael Opaji, and another unit official, Emmanuel Nyikirindi, on behalf of the government of Uganda.
Honorable Chairman, that a special purpose vehicle called Umeme would be incorporated, which would be the one to sign the concession, and it was agreed in the support agreement signed by government that NSSF would feature.
But Sendaula told NTV in a phone interview that he does not remember signing such an agreement.
Do you have it? I wish I could see it. Who has it? Let's not just make allegations. I could not have signed an agreement to say I am offering the savings of NSSF to Umeme when Umeme were not willing to sell their shares at the time.
Sendaula, who served as Finance Minister for 8 years from 1998 to 2006, is now a member of the Umeme Board of Directors.
Now these people offered shares, and the shareholders elected me to represent them on the board. So I would have said, no, one day, what happens when I have my shares in Umeme?
The committee is investigating how NSSF bought Umeme shares. The lawmakers are questioning why government decided to surrender NSSF funds to Umeme, then a newly formed company.
Was that agreement binding to NSSF to procure?
Now, this was 10 years ago. I don't know how many of you can tell me what institution other than NSSF represented a big following of workers or Ugandans.
But the transaction advisor at Stanbic Bank, Patrick Muhire, said it's a global practice for utility companies to use workers' savings as a fallback position when shares are floated on the stock exchange.
The primary target investor base are usually funds that manage money, so pension funds.
Muhire, who participated in the NSSF Umeme deal, later said he was not aware that the concession agreement contained provisions targeting NSSF funds and was never disclosed in the Umeme prospectus.
And I must say to you that even I, as the advisor at the time, it was never mentioned, never did we ever discuss with the NSSF that there was some clause in some articles of incorporation from 7 years ago that somehow obligated NSSF. It was never discussed.
Umeme officials admitted that the company was heavily indebted to the tune of 120 billion shillings by the time the firm floated shares on the stock exchange, and that half of the money from the initial public offer was used to clear the debt.
Actually, it was paid off. It was paid off as part of the proceeds.
But Umeme officials say since the company was listed on the stock exchange, its portfolio has improved and the financial and the asset value rose to 800 billion shillings from 440 billion shillings. Jjngo Francis, NTV Parliament.